Sipton! Niggas done join the village of Simptown, boy. So, what people don't realize is not even the most, the strongest, best looking, most performing men in our society have virgins anymore. And that should be a concern to us all, because the reality is to experience virginity of women, all men have to be virgins too, and there needs to be a culture that promotes that. And so the way we do that is multi-procedural, and I'm going to get into it. And some of these items may feel familiar, hinting at historical, religious, traditional norms, and some of them are actually my own thinking, and perhaps they're an accumulation, a synthesis of several religious ideas. And so I'm going to name 10 key points here, right? So starting off with the more obvious is, I'll do one obvious and then one of like my ideas. So first of all, we all know that, so the first one is really that men have to choose that they prefer virgins. Like, really think about it. A lot of men are distracted in society. They're working, they're into the materialistic, trying to get a new car. They've kind of given up on the idea of the virgin woman. Like, it's kind of like people don't even think it's possible, just like they don't think it's possible to have a loving, sustainable marriage. And I get the marriage part. Like, maybe it's not a good idea to have a legal marriage, because then it basically gives women authority. If the women want, they have every option to get money from the divorce court if they feel like it. They can basically get money. So the first strategy, guys, is you bring this to a conscious level and converse with your fellow man about this. If possible, wouldn't you prefer a virgin woman? And the great thing is, this is a universal topic. This is a topic that everyone from the religious to maybe the anti-religious, or even the guys who are promiscuous or into a more criminal or thug life or whatever it may be. This is a conversation that they can appreciate. And so it's something that brings guys together, a sense of, I want people to be able to trust me with their daughters and their sisters and their and also their wives, like, to protect their wives. Like, we need to create a society that's patriarchal, but the good guys, that's the qualifier. It's got to be the good guys. The good guys are the ones who are going to they're going to what? They're going to create an atmosphere where we can feel good as humanity. So that's point number one, is, men have to, in fact, that was an unconventional point, because people may not have thought about that. Now, point number two, I'll make a conventional point. Point number two is create a society that has things that religions have already established in the past, such things as degrees of gender separation, where men aren't hanging out with women that much. Like when they, like especially in schooling, when people are younger, it's harder for them to, they don't really know themselves. They're not strong, so they're really kind of directed and influenced by their hormones and that whole energy. So pulling a trailer, so pardon you guys, need to pay attention to that maneuver. So, oh yeah, and check out check this out. We're cruising in this Ram. It's a nice Ram. It's a 2500. It's got 4-wheel drive. Like, this is a serious truck. Okay, back to you. So what's something normal that we all expect is this gender separation. And the biggest counter argument I get to when I talk about this is people will say that, oh, you have to have experience around women to be able to be with women. You have to have experience around women to be able to like, you have to have sex in order to know how to be, all this stuff, right? But it's not, it's not real. Like, the reality is people already know how to have sex, and in fact they should be intimate with themselves, maybe viewing the entertainment of pornography, and they can know about themselves, right? Thing is you've got to admit that, okay, yes, yeah, we do have physical sexual attraction. This whole gender, people sitting together and guys like talking casually with women as if they're some of their guy buddies. It's neglecting the reality. It's a disillusionment of thinking that, they're not. Come on, I gotta make this fucking move. Here we go. Someone's letting me go. That's good. All right. It's like, it's a non-reality where people act like they don't want to have sex with each other. People do, lots of people are attracted to each other, but there's a way we can cultivate a culture where lots of, everyone gets a chance to have a virgin spouse, and we can all be loving towards each other and everything. And there's no sense of like comparing people to sexual partners, to having memories of other people. Like, why would you want all of that? So where do I move that? So that's kind of obvious. Now let's take another a more unconventional angle, and this isn't just about this is about raising virgin daughters, but it's really about first men wanting that, from the fathers wanting that as an ideal. They want their son to have a virgin bride, to the mothers and fathers wanting to preserve the virginity of the daughter. But so let's get into some practical stuff. Like, that was a little abstract. Well, it is like conceptual. Like, you have to talk about stuff in order to want it to happen. But here's something that is like, put it into practice, very like a functional type of thing. Okay. And what that consists of is actually, oh shit. Work with me, guys. Work with me. Fuck me. Okay. what that consists of is the guys. Oh shit! Look at that. Hey, ha, is woo. Okay, it's that we need to. We have to do what? We have to shave the heads of the women. And what this is it's the daughters don't, the single unmarried women, I don't think deserve to have as much of a presence on the scene of society in terms of looking attractive. I think that privilege should go to the married women. They should be the ones who are allowed to show flowing hair, long hair, and jewelry, and dress sexy, because that's the same, for the same reason that I think only married women should have the right to be a stripper if their husband approves, and then you'd give the husband the money, and it would be a wholesome twist on an adult entertainment experience. And so that's point number 3, is to create virgin daughters. They've got to be these stop guards where it's not trying to make the daughters aren't allowed to like look sexy and be like, hanging out and looking good. Ooh, traffic's starting to jam up, boys. We gotta fucking reroute. All right, let me play this out. How am I gonna play this out? All right, I'm gonna fucking reroute, I think. No, I think Google's pretty reliable on its navigating the traffic unknowns. Speaking of which, a side note, when you see somebody about to collide in an accident, honk your horn, and it'll help remind them that, to watch out. Okay, so yeah, we don't want the woman to be overtly trying to look attractive. They shouldn't have that right. And don't we want a society? So part of it is, like I said in the beginning, it's, don't we want a society with virgins, right? Okay, the next thing is point number 4 is the daughters. It can't, this whole like women get to have authority thing. We can't have that. The daughters have to, and women have to want men to protect them. So this is point number 5. Like, if I was a woman, I would want, my father, I would listen to, like, who do you think is going to give you better advice? Like the guys in your school or society who may want to,
take the next right
to seduce you and prey upon you, or your father who actually wants the best for you, Woo. Oh. And then point number 6 is that 5? I said, so let's say point number 6, it's that, what else, like actually, what are the benefits of virginity? It means it ensures that less STDs and less pregnancies. So there also should be an ad campaign to, remind people of that. And remind people of those 2 items and the suffering that comes along when people decide to be promiscuous. It's unloving. So part of it is, oh, and here's another one. The daughters can't be referred to as daughters anymore. And here's what I mean by that. The daughters have to be referred to as they have to be their own authority. And so the way you make that possible.
In 600 feet, turn right onto the Interstate H1 East ramp to Waikiki.
Whoa. What is that guy doing?
Turn right onto the Interstate
The way you
H1
do
East
that is by, because we ultimately end up having to send the daughters out to, society or, okay, first of all, in a perfect world or where everyone's wealthy.
There's a 5-minute slowdown.
Shit. All right, guys, I gotta pause. Do I have to pause? No, I don't. I know where I'm going. All right, so basically, yeah, daughters need to refer to their parents as parental guardians, and they should talk to each other as if it's on a first name basis, and they shouldn't talk as if they're like, oh, my little girl, my baby girl, my all that type of talk. What that ends up doing is it creates a situation where they're going to be upset with each other because they're going to always expect the parent, and it puts you in a state of submission.
Slight right onto the Hawaii 61 South ramp, then slight right onto Hawaii 61 South. Turn right onto South School Street.
Oh. Well, it could be.
Slight right onto South Kuakini Street.
Okay, so
Slight right onto South Kuakini Street.
I know what I'm doing.
Keep right to continue on Pacific Heights Road. In 800 feet, turn left onto Paua Road.
Alright guys, I need to fucking figure out my navigation here. So let me do that, and then we can get back into this. I've already made some good points, but I need to deal with something here. Alright, gents, we are back to it. We're back to it. It's good to be back. I had to figure out some navigation, but now I'm all set with that, and it's time to go have some more fun. So I've already made about 6 points. I'm going to keep the ideas coming. Another thing we have to do, we actually have to recognize that just like the dark aspects of, we have to teach each other the dark aspects of men and women. The dark aspects of men are pretty obvious. If they don't masturbate and they don't get off, what ends up happening is they crave that release, that orgasm by proxy of using a woman's body. to achieve that. And so, but that's not. It's not gonna. It's not gonna help. That's not gonna help in a world where we're trying to turning, easy, turn. Okay, here we go. In a world where we are trying to, bring peace into the world and we need to, there has to be an overt strategy, and we can't just act like people are all good, because they have darkness in them, especially when they're younger. They have unaddressed, unconscious, operative, motives. And so with men, it's pretty clear. Men like to seduce women, but then we want to get into the more like complicated aspects of where women also have a dark aspect of them, which actually reveals itself in women hating each other. And so what they'll do is they will, like, for example, the mothers will be less worried about trying to protect their daughter's virginity, because they secretly are, resentful or envious of the daughter's ability to draw and attract men, including men closer to her age, which is the dark aspect of women, is where they actually do try to seduce older men for their resources. So it's a whole convoluted thing, and it's all a consequence of unstabilized marriages where they end up in divorce, and then the man gets loveless and embittered, and he tries to seduce the most attractive woman that he can find, and that's trying to think here. Okay, and so that's another point. And it's like these men will then try to get the youngest woman they can with their money when they should be. And another thing about this idea of the virgin woman is it's not about it's not about a young woman. Oh, these people should have. It's about just having a virgin attitude, virgin spirit, virgin energy. All right, I know where I'm going. I know what I'm doing. Shooting through the back roads, boys. And so, yeah, it's like we want a world where it's like, yes, the possibility for virgins are there. So how do we do that besides those naming points? I'm sure we could study in religion, make religious references as well, saying like, okay, yeah, this is the reality of the possibility. And so we covered that, the dark aspects of women. Women need to be protected and helped to be their lives to be managed, because they have emotions. They suffer these hard emotions, right? And we want to be and also having their period, and everything. We want to be able to be there for them. All right. Man, it feels good to drive a new vehicle. You know, you can, not only is it cooler and more comfortable, but it's got that more reliable, like, towing strength. So it's fun. Right now I'm like switching through the back road to outmaneuver the traffic. It's fun. Well, I should probably sign off now, make a call. I've got to, attend to my professional duties but yeah, I hope I conveyed a compelling message and things that you can interject into even more casual conversations, and just with the intention of creating a world where we get the best experiences of humanity. All right, aloha guys.